Hi there, Ingrid. Good job writing your first essays. Very excited to see them. Let's take a look at what you've written here, shall we? Okay, the first one is about schools. Just educational, or should they entertain as well? Let's see what you said. Okay. In recent years, academic institutions, there should be have been focusing more. So, academic institutions have been focusing more and more on enjoyable activities for students. However, the primary goal is supposed to be a strong academic achievement. In my opinion, it is incredibly important for schools to spend most of their time on academic success and not on student entertainment. This essay will discuss the reasons why schools' only goal, you should have an apostrophe here after schools. So S apostrophe is supposed to be high academic standards. Firstly, because parents pay tuition for their education, and secondly, because every child has a right to education. Okay, it's well done. I really like it. I have one concern, and my concern is that for an introduction, it really contains a lot of information. It's a little long, so I would have preferred if you had stopped your paragraph here. In fact, you could have even written a little less. The reason why I say that is because if you look at your paragraphs, your introduction is as long as your body paragraphs. I don't want you to focus so much on your introduction. Where you really need to focus is on your body paragraphs. Make sure you really develop them. Make sure you answer all aspects of the question and really develop those paragraphs, and not so much your introduction and your conclusion, which are more of a formality and not really where you should be focusing all of your time, okay? All right, so firstly, parents pay high tuition to ensure their children receive a high level of, I don't know what odd means. I have no idea what that means. I replaced this with children because we never write the word kids in an IELTS essay. There are certain things that are considered informal, so we don't do. We don't use contractions, so no don't, no won't, no isn't, and we don't use words like kids, okay? Too informal. Always prefer academic sounding vocabulary. So, receive a high level of education. This is largely LY because most people realize the competition for grade 12 children every year increases to be accepted into universities. For example, according to the surveys, you don't need an apostrophe here, nothing is possessive, done by Harvard University. Hold on. For example, according to surveys done by Harvard University, get rid of this, only 20% of students get accepted into the school they initially applied for. Therefore, it is vital for schools to focus on academics to help students get into university courses and not waste their parents' money. One parent or parents, plural parents. It should be S apostrophe. Secondly, every child has the right to not only be at school, but to receive proper education and help them to become. What does the help them go to? Who has to help them? So the subject here was every child. So the help them doesn't make sense. Let's try it again. Secondly, every child has the right to not only be at school, but to receive proper education and help to become an outstanding citizen. This is because, not since, this is because society needs good doctors, teachers, engineers, and nurses. I don't understand the link here. I don't understand how these are connected. Maybe you'll make it clear in the following sentences. Let's see. For example, comma, in the American Charter of Rights and Freedoms, it states, no comma, that it is the government's responsibility to leave no child behind, and additionally to make sure every education institution is providing the highest EST level of academic standards. Consequently, schools cannot waste time on entertainment but take up the challenge to the purpose of education. Okay. Let's move on. To conclude, all sole school purpose, I don't know about this all sole, that feels a little strange to me. So it should have maybe said the sole purpose of school is to educate because parents pay high tuitions and because it is every student's apostrophe S fundamental right to receive a high level of education. In the future, it is predicted that most entertainment will only happen after school hours and school time will be used wisely to educate the students. Okay, so here's the good thing. The good thing is that you are using the template accurately. You are coherent, you are cohesive, you have a good structure. The vocabulary is mostly good. The grammar is mostly good. If there was one area that I was a little concerned about, it was the level of how you really dealt with the topic. So you said that you think schools should only educate, and that's fine, I understand. But I do feel you needed to spend a little more emphasis on this idea of entertainment. In fact, I almost forgot what the essay asked you until you got all the way down here. Schools cannot waste time on entertainment but take up the challenge to their purpose of education. So I felt like there should have been a little discussion about entertainment. Even if it's just to say that here in this kind of cutthroat environment, in this competitive atmosphere, entertainment has no place. It's a luxury. It doesn't fit. There is no room for it. Forget it. Okay? So even if it was just to say something like that, I felt you should have made some mention of entertainment. You didn't do it here at all. I didn't really understand this paragraph very much. You said becoming an outstanding citizen, and then you talked about doctors and teachers and engineers. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand the link. I didn't understand how it fit into this discussion about entertainment versus soul education. So that was your responsibility to make that connection clear and explain how you find these all to be interlinked. So I needed you to do that, okay? Let's see, what else? Other than that, okay. No other real concerns, but like I said, again, task achievement was probably for me the area that needed the most work here. So let's take a look at your second essay, see what you wrote there. Okay, a related topic, but a little different. Let's see what you said. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether participating in a fun activity can develop better skills and more creativity for students. Or rather, no, this is grammatically incorrect. Now, what you've run into is you've basically copied the prompt. Look at this. So, starting with activity. Activity can develop better skills and more creativity. Here, can develop better skills and more creativity. So it's exactly the same language. Please try to avoid that, okay? It shows an inflexibility with vocabulary, and I don't want an examiner to think that you aren't flexible and that you don't have the vocabulary to rephrase this topic. Okay, so this rather was strange here. It was grammatically incorrect. So, have debated whether participating in a fun activity can develop better skills and more creativity, or whether reading books is better. Something like that would have worked. Some believe different, enjoyable activities are best for students, but personally I strongly disagree. This essay will discuss reasons and examples from UK government and Oxford University, demonstrate reports, and prove arguments. Okay, fine. Firstly, there is ample evidence that by spending time reading, you don't need a comma, a child uses different parts of the brain to develop skills and remember all information. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, during reading, new ideas are formed, and secondly, visual images are created in the brain. For example, recent empirical with an E research by the UK government demonstrated that the amount of time spent reading by students in the classroom, no comma, directly correlates with the student's creativity. Okay. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that having students spend time at the school or library, Therefore, it is conclusively clear that students who spend time at the school library will have excellent skills. Okay. Secondly, although children prefer to spend time on the computer, change the grammar, no knowledge is gained that is going to make the world a better place. This is largely because computer games are repetitive. For example, comma, Oxford University, capital U, has conducted a study that showed students spending more than 2 hours a day on the computer, no comma, do not have good general knowledge. Get rid of the A, get rid of the O, the ES here. Compared to children who used the 2 hours reading books. Consequently, it is possible to state beyond doubt, that reading makes students more intelligent. Okay, fine. From, careful with your typing, from the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that although playing video games is sport, what? Why are you talking about sports? You never mentioned sports anywhere in this essay. So, playing video games are more enjoyable, or no, playing video games is more enjoyable for children and can develop some skills and creativity. Reading is much better. It is predicted that mandatory reading hours in school will be implemented in the near future. Yeah, so sports was irrelevant because you never talked about sports anywhere in this essay, so you probably should have gotten rid of it. Let's see what else I wanted to say about this. Okay, you did something I liked. This is what I wanted to talk about. You mentioned creativity in this paragraph, and then you mentioned intelligence and cognitive skills in this paragraph. And that's good. I'm glad you did that because most people neglect the creativity part of this essay. However, there was one problem. You didn't really mention creativity until this very, very bottom sentence here. It's really much more useful if you had mentioned it in the beginning of the paragraph so that I knew that that was the focus of your paragraph. To develop skills such as creativity and to remember information. That would have worked. Even just a simple mention of creativity like that would have really helped because, like I said, I didn't really know where you were going, what that skill was until I got all the way down here. So make sure that the central idea of your paragraph is evident throughout your paragraph. And by throughout, we mean from the beginning to the end. Okay, so Ingrid, basically we have 2 well-written essays, especially for your first tasks. They are very well done, so congratulations. You do need to make some corrections on them. Okay, just based on what you heard in this video correction. So go ahead and start with those corrections and return them back to us once you have it done. Also, you'll need to make an error correction list where you write down all the mistakes that were pointed out to you and what their correct version should be. Also, you will need to obviously write us new essays. Okay, so send us back those 3 things. Try to do all within the next 24 hours or so you can really apply everything you've been learning. Also, another thing about the error correction list, it's something you're going to add to with each subsequent essay you receive back. So you'll just keep adding to it to help you learn from your mistakes. Okay, good job on your first essays. I'm really looking forward to see what you write the next time. So good luck with your writing.